Hello viewers, today we're going to do an unboxing of a Siemens UMHT MCS fire alarm horn strobe and stuff. Let's do an unboxing and see. Let me go get the knife out. Cut that out here. And then cut it out here and then open this part up. Here's something. This is a new old stock. It is a Siemens. It's a horn strobe. It's sync or non-sync. And it is red. Let me cut open here like that. Don't really need the knife anymore. Here it is. It's got these terminals. If you want, you can have this ran on a 2-wire operation. Oh, that legitly came undone, but that's whatever. Here's some screws and stuff. Here's one of them to the pull station or something like that. This will be mounted up here like that once I get a wire mold back box for it. Let me turn this around. Okay, so here is a Siemens UMHU horn strobe, which is for the fire alarm and stuff. Let me set that down so I can see. There we go. This is a single gang mount right here, as you may know. And this has the wire for the strobe. See that? See the letter H on the positive and negative? That's for the horn. And this is for the strobe. And the volume max on this is 4, which is quite loud. Eventually I'll lower the volume down on this or something. But you know how it is with these kinds of horn strobes. Which is something that you may know. And here's the terminals to put wires into. I'll put the resistor on here so I can have this on. I'll put the terminals on. I'll put the resistor on one of the terminals so I can have this on a 2-wire operation. There we go. Go ahead and take out this existing part here. Take this. Make sure this is at That's 15 candela. You can have it at 110 or you can have it wherever it requires a mini flathead screwdriver to do that. I'm not sure if this is going to fit. Hope so. Oh, it's trying. It's trying to fit. I don't know what's going on with that. Right then and there. Nope. You can't fit in there like that, but that's just fine. It is what it is. On the front, you have a horn. This part for the screw, which I'll take right out. Then put in. Let me go get a screwdriver. Okay, so on the front, there's a horn, and there's the strobe. I'll pretty much run this on a 2-wire operation instead of 4-wire operation once I get the resistor in and everything. So let's put that screw in. Get that part inward. Get that part in, and then you turn the screw to lock it up in place. Just as simple as that. And it looks good from here, as you may know. So that looks cool. These are the screws that came with it, which is right here. Let's open this up. This here is the manual, which I will always keep. It's Siemens. It's something they may know. There's the audio ratings and stuff here, such as steady. And here's this part for one of my favorite appliances and stuff. With that part, you can have it on here. You can put the jumpers in between. If you want it on you can have the jumpers in between if you want it on a 2-wire operation. Or, like, for instance, you can cut the jumper, like right here. You can have it on or off or whatever you want to have it. I'm not sure. So that's how it goes for the wiring diagrams and stuff. And okay. And you can have it like you can cut these cables, which is not used in synchronized operation, and stuff. You can have these things. Okay. You can pick whatever it is that you want. This is like if you ever want to install a mini horn, or that kind of a horn. And there's stuff like that. This is the UMHU part. And this is something that you would see. You can do this part here, like for audible power and stuff. And this goes to the control panel, and this goes from the control panel to here. And then this would be part of the NAC and stuff. And stuff, and then you can have things like that, for instance. Now you can get on the flashlight so I can show you. It's got all that cool features and stuff. So, wiring diagrams, typical for wiring UMHU-1G and UMHU for synchronized operation with the DSC control sync mod. This part here is from the audible control, and then this part is for the resistor. And this is audible power from control panel safety, non-pulsing, non-silenceable notification appliance circuit, NAC, which spells NAC. This part here is for the horn. And this part was to like a next device or EOL if you want to have that. And this is Fig 5. This is from the control panel. Silenceable notification circuit. The jumper section, which would be back here, somewhere over here, would be on, which is temporal horn, or off, which is steady horn. Jumper selection is only for use in non-synchronized operation to next device or EOL. And the individual wiring is heavy. Gauge wiring should be bent by 90 degrees before attaching to screw. Wiring should then carefully be pushed back into back box to minimize stress on the terminal block. So it's got all that stuff that I've known. And here's the number 6 for the wiring diagrams. This is what you see for a horn strobe, like for a UMHU MCS, like this one here. This is the front, as you may know here. This is the strobe. Here's the back, which is pretty cool. And this This is a NAC control panel and stuff right here. And then this part is like for this stuff. And these jumpers here stay in place. Okay? And you can still leave them here in place if you plan on running these in 2-wire operation, which I'd rather run this on 2-wire operation, where the horn and the strobe would sync if fire alarm system goes to alarm in a building. Like if someone pulled a fire alarm, only if there's a fire, or if someone used a fog machine and the smoke goes up and it gets close to the fog machine and it would go off. So these here stay in place. Okay? These here, these two jumpers stay in place. Alright? And here's the jumper selection. This is not used in synchronized operation. For the wiring diagrams, like when installing, you make sure this part here is where the horns would get hooked up, and this part here is where the strobes would get hooked up. And then this here is what we have covered. If you plan to run this on separate circuit, then you would have to cut these jumpers, which is something that we have to leave alone when it comes to the 2-wire operation. See? That's if you're doing it separately. But I'd like to run this on 2-wire operation, so I have to leave the jumpers. I have to leave the jumpers alone in order to run it on 2-wire operation. And here's the typical wiring for UMHU. See that right there? That's the same thing, which is a suggestion notice. Okay. Same thing here as well, but I don't want to cut the jumper cables because I've always preferred to have these Siemens horn strobes on 2-wire operation. I've always preferred to have these kinds of Siemens UMHU-MCS horn strobes that I have in-house, that I have in Auburn, on 2-wire operation. So these jumpers, I've always left these jumpers alone for years and stuff like that, but I have taken these with me in the move to Farmington, and I've taken those with me in the move to Auburn 2 years ago. So within that, it's got all that cool features and stuff. Let me go ahead and fold up the booklet and stuff. Okay, let me go. Oh, hold on a sec. Let me cut that off real quick so it doesn't cause any interference with the glare and stuff. Go ahead and fold this up take the box and then take this, put it in here like that, just as simple as that in here. Okay, here's the screws. They're gonna go in the box like so. At least this screw here is already in, as you may know. So this part can come in. Now, okay, this part come in like that. Or you can take this and have it go in like that. I don't know where to place it now. Where to put it back in the box for now. This is going to go back in for now. This is going to go back in the box for now until I am ready to get it up on the wall. Until I'm ready to get this up on the wall, which is right here, and until I'm ready to get a fire alarm control panel, meaning that this picture is going to have to go in order for the fire alarm control panel to fit here. And then the wires would go up across the wall here, across the wall here again. Picture, maybe it can stay, maybe it can come down in a box here. Then the strobe will be here on the wire mold back box, and then the wire for the zone is going to go down, and that's for the pull station. And then there's a wire from here to that here, and there's going to be a fire alarm, and there's going to be a smoke detector only right here for a fire alarm. So, anywho, and this will be taken down as well. There's going to be an orange strobe here, one here, then one here. But I know it looks ugly to some of you, but for me, it's kind of, because I know for a house, for a building, that's a permanent system. That's a permanent system. But for a house, some people think it's a permanent system for a house, like in Massachusetts and stuff. Technically, no, it is not. It is not a permanent system for a house. For a house, that fire alarm systems for a house are temporary, not permanent. Enough rambling. I decided to put that back in the box for now until I'm ready to wire it up on 2-wire operation. Without further ado, so in the meanwhile, and until the next thrilling fire alarm enthusiast adventures, including a fire alarm dude, I don't know for that stuff. I know some fire alarm people videotaped them and tested them to make sure they work and stuff in every system test. But until the next thrilling fire alarm adventure, adios.